What's up, Dodgers Nation? Welcome to the Max Muncy edition of the DN Roundtable. For those of you doing the math at home, it is number 13. On my right, Mr. Clint Pasillas, host of the Blue Heaven podcast. Right to my left, Doug McCain, DMAC_LA. Do you want to give me your Twitter handle real quick? Sorry, I kind of skipped you.
Real FRG on the Twitter and Instagram.
Perfecto. That man in white right there is Brooke Smith. You can find him at BrookeMe3. Gentlemen, got a big episode today. Chris Taylor's foot is broken. A pair of standout relievers have taken a big step back this year. And we got to do some midseason grades. We're almost exactly halfway. So you guys kind of covered it on last night's Blue Heaven, which you can find every night live on YouTube. You can also find it on Spotify, iHeart, Pandora, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you can find your podcasts.
For free.
But Chris Taylor's going to miss at least a couple of weeks. He doesn't have a timetable to return right now. So what should the Dodgers do? Do they platoon Jake Lamb, who's better against right-handed pitching, Trace Thompson against left-handed pitching, or do they make a trade for a veteran, proven outfielder, maybe a Tommy Pham, maybe a Ben Attendee? Brooke, you are leading off.
Ooh, we got strong feelings about Tommy Pham in my household of one. Do not want that guy on my team.
Kiss my ass. That's my feeling.
I think that we've talked about it. Obviously, it's an option. I don't know if they're actually considering that sort of thing. I think regardless of the Chris Taylor situation, though, the Dodgers are going after a bench type of bat or a bat in general. I think that this is the perfect time to solve that issue because right now you could get by with a Trace Thompson, Jake Lamb platoon. You could do just fine. Left field isn't necessarily a defensive first position. We could get by fine. However, the option is out there to go after a JD Martinez type of bat, a guy that can fill out space in the outfield for the season under contract through 2022. Yes, he gets paid a lot. Yes, whatever. Not the best at defense, can play left field, probably just as well as Jake Lamb, if probably better than Jake Lamb actually at this point. Yeah. Huge bat. Gonna cost some money, gonna cost you some prospects. You also have to consider where the Red Sox are at right now, but if they want to build for their future, if they want to get a starting arm back, maybe they can take a David Price, who they're already paying for under contract, and they can just take him. Hey, we're already paying for this guy. Might as well have him pitch for us while we also get some prospects in return. It solves a lot of problems for you. It makes Trace Thompson a bench bat, which now solves that problem for you. It also has Jake Lamb, obviously, still on the bench for you. Mm-hmm. That dude mashes left-handed pitching. I think he's hitting like 390 against left-handed pitching this year. It solves a lot of problems. He would look good in blue. What's not to love?
All right, Doug, would you go Band of Brothers platoon style, or are you going out, or are you making a trade for kind of a fringe starter?
You know me, man. I like things made in the trades, okay? And you think this is a great opportunity to go out and make a move. Trace Thompson, it's been a fairy tale. It's been a great story so far. It's the feel-good story of the year for the Dodgers. I don't think the Dodgers are going to be without a Trace. I think he stays in the organization, on the team in some capacity. But if you look at his BABIP among players with at least 30 plate appearances, he's joined 12th in the league, a 450 BABIP. He might have some regression. You're going to have teams starting to figure him out. Look at the 2016 season. He was hot in May, and then you saw what happened. Jake Lamb, a very small sample size. He can't produce at the plate, but this is a win-now team. You got to push all your Dodger blue chips in the middle of that table. Go out and make a move. Look, the Cubs are in town. I want to see them make a move for Ian Happ. Ian Happ's another guy having a career year. He's a guy that's going to be a free agent after this season, has that rental box checked off that the Dodgers like. So I definitely think you go out there and you make a move for a bat, because if you look at Chris Taylor, too, having a down year on defense, leads the league with the highest strikeout rate, 101 strikeouts for CT3. So he's the guy that had that offseason surgery with the elbow, dealing with that fractured left ankle. I do think you go out there and you make a move, because we've seen that, yes, Justin Turner and Max Muncy, they have turned around of late, but I think this is a great opportunity to go out there and make a move for an impact bat for sure.
Clint, do you think if the Dodgers trade for a bat, are they trading for a T-bone steak, or are they getting a nice piece of chicken piccata?
I was going to interject and interrupt Brooke, as I do so well, so often. Listen, this is the thing about JD Martinez. We've talked about him a lot on the network of late. The Red Sox are good-ish, and they're fighting for something. They're playing for something. The idea of David Price, sending him anywhere, any team that's going to trade something of value for David Price, they're going to want to trade for a starter. David Price is not a starter anymore, and it's going to take him a long-ass time to build up to that point. So there's that little nugget on there. I do think they find a way to make a trade. They've kind of already done some of their trades with the Trace Thompson. Bringing up Jake Lamb, you have sort of solidified or given yourself some options for now. But I don't know if they go outfield. I think they try to find somebody who they can plug in a little bit of everywhere. Maybe, I'm going to Boston again all of a sudden, even though I'm saying that they're doing well. But, hey, Bring back your boy Kiki.
He's not going to do anything, man.
No, he's not. But I think you got some weak bats. You got some holes in the lineup. You do have Muncy and JT heating up a little bit, but to get some premium defense that you could plug in anywhere in the outfield, get some help at third base, some actual an elite defender at third base. I think that's going to help this team a whole bunch. But that's my answer, non-answer. I do think they do something. I don't think it's going to be a blockbuster, to be honest.
Something the Dodgers have always done, it seems like, under the Andrew Friedman and Brandon Gomes, who's the general manager, is make trades for relievers at the deadlines. But I think they may have to do that again because you do have a couple of guys who had great 2021s out of the bullpen who have really struggled this year. So, Clint, if your life depended on it, you got to get 3 outs. Who do you want on the mound? You have choice A is Phil Bickford. Mm-hmm. Choice B is Alex Vesia.
Oh, that's tough right now. It's got to be Vesia. Just because at least it's going to be a good time. He might paint out his pants for an outing because dude likes him tight. It's going to be like 5 batters going up that inning, probably. But I'm going Vesia.
All right. Doug, 3 outs.
I think you don't mess with Vesia, but I think the way that Phil Bickford has looked the last couple appearances looks like he's really started to figure things out. And with Vesia, you're going to see some hits. You might see some walks. If he's on, he's fired up, he's going to get the big outs. But to me, I think right now, after last night, I'm going to and Bickford saying thank you to Dave Roberts, I'm going to go with Phil Bickford strictly on that anyway? And the show flow.
He was just thankful to be there. He's like a dog.
He appreciates the opportunity.
To be there.
Brooke, you going with Sherwin Williams or you going with the Ventura Dinosaur to get 3 outs?
Look, I like Bickford. I think I've made it very clear how I feel about the man. I think I've predicted his regression. It's still coming. I think he's giving up home runs. I don't like it. I don't like where he's putting the ball a lot of times. Like you said, though, has been very good in recent vintage form of him. We're talking past like 5-6 outings, I think we're talking about. I did give up a home run against the Rockies, though. I don't know. I feel good about Vesia. I feel good about anybody else. I don't know. I just don't feel a trust in Phil Bickford right now. He does very much feel like that middle innings, large lead kind of guy or decent lead kind of guy to me.
Yeah, I got to give you credit. You were early on the Bickford regression to the mean this year. You know, you're
Hater.
right. He's right about a lot of stuff. Mr. Brook, me 3. Make sure to give him a follow if you don't already to figure out everything that's going on with the Dodgers. And this guy, too. And this guy. All right, fellas. After Tuesday's game, the Dodgers have played exactly 80 games. By my math, we're almost halfway mathematically. The All-Star break is not halfway through the season. It's a lie.
3, 4.
Does it add up?
5. It'll take me a minute. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we'll get an equal sum going on Excel.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, we got to hand out some grades here. So as we did previously when Clint hosted, you get your kind of 1 or 2 sentence elevator pitch, but we're going to try to keep this moving. Doug, I'm going to bring you in after Brooke and Clint. You're going to give us the fan grades from the post game. You are the post game master and kind of your slant.
So F's across the board. I'll just
yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So Brooke, we'll start with you.
Dave Roberts.
We'll start with you. We're gonna do 3 components: bullpen, offense, defense, and of course 4 components: Dave Roberts, because why not? So your grade for the bullpen so far this year.
I'm giving the bullpen an A. I mean, you look at what they've done, what they've been able to do, kind of piecing things together, backing up the starting rotation when they're injured. Dave Roberts is famously pulling guys early right now and continues to do so. Despite that, despite how overworked they've been, despite the 31 games in 30 days, the 23 games and 24 game stretch, they're pulling it together. They're the best bullpen ERA, like I think second best in the National League. What they've been able to do with the names that they have available to them, no Blake Trinan, Craig Kimbrell has sucked a load of butts. I mean, all things considered, you got to really give it to the bullpen because they are really cruising right now.
Clinton Tarantino, what's your review of the bullpen?
Listen, you can't give him an A because that leaves no room for improvement. And this is a bullpen that has a lot of room for improvement. Sure, the numbers say they've got it done, but how many times is your butthole puckered a little bit when some of these dudes are coming in? It's a solid B-. They're getting the job done. The Dodgers do what they do best. They went out and found some dudes.
B for butthole.
But they're not the greatest dudes. They don't instill all of the warmth in your heart that we're going to get this done. B- for the bullpen.
Brooke, offense.
I would give the offense an A too because you look at what they've done. You look at the runs per game, best in baseball. You think, of course, this lineup's going to put that up. They're going to do that. But I'm not going to give them an A. I'm going to give them a B- because it seems like more often than not, the reason why they're leading in those runs per game is because they're putting up dozens in certain games and then big fat goose eggs in other games or 1-run games or things like that. So I'm going to give them a B- because there's absolutely room for improvement. We need more consistency. We need that to happen more often on a daily basis. B-.
Since you stole my B-, I'm going to go C+ because this is a team that has not had a good or consistent JT all year long. A good or consistent Mookie Betts, not Mookie Betts, the other guy, Max Muncy episode all year long. Even a good and consistent Mookie Betts all year long. He had a very bad, bad for Mookie April, killed it in May, indifferent and hurt in June, and now he's back and he's doing a lot better. But Freddie's killing it. Trey Turner's killing it. Will Smith is doing what he does. He's getting BABIP to death, but you still have strikeout king CT3. I'm going over my time limit here, but C+, they got a lot of room to improve, and if you start getting these guys hitting together like a family, they can go to outer space, because I think that's what happened in the Fast movies. I don't know how to watch that.
Family.
Brooke, how'd you grade the leather so far this year?
The leather, oh boy, there's just something that doesn't feel right about it. Maybe it's just that we're just making the normal
You're not
plays.
wearing it.
We don't see any elite level defense anywhere across the diamond. Trey Turner is not nearly what you kind of had hoped for him to be at shortstop after coming off of the abysmal Corey Seager shortstop. Bad shortstop, by the way. Horrible shortstop. But all things considered, I mean, it just feels very average. It doesn't feel like anything special. Doesn't feel like anything that's going to make you go crazy. To his credit, CT, what a freaking arm, man. So I don't know. I'm going to give him a C because it just doesn't feel exciting to me. It's passing.
Isn't that your Tinder review? Like nothing special. What the other words you said?
Exactly. Just stick to nothing special.
B. That's it. They're there.
B for defense.
Trey Turner's gotten better as the season's gone along. Muncy's gotten better playing second. He's gotten a little more serviceable at third base. JT is solid at third for an old man. He is absolutely no Nolan Arenado or even Brook Me 3, but he still is getting the job done over there. Freddie gets the job done over there. Will Smith has turned himself into one of the better catchers in the game. B, always going to be room to improve.
All right, let's go with D for Dave Roberts. Your grade for Dave. Quickly, because we got a cleanup hitter waiting.
Look, I'm giving Dave I'm giving him the B+ because if I give him an A, I'm pretty sure someone on the stream will find me. That's about it. That's all I got to say about that.
A- Dave. Keep doing a good job, David.
They're coming for you.
Now, like his hero Will Smith, Doug is batting cleanup. Doug, we're going to run you right through here. The bullpen.
I would say
grade,
the fan grade. The fan grade, I would say the bullpen based on Craig Kimbrell. We saw his Craig crumble at times this season. Cardiac Kimbrell. I think they would give him an FML because they have been yelling about Kimbrell all season long, even though he hasn't been that bad. When a closer blows saves, they're always magnified, especially on the post-game show. Me personally, I'm going to give them a high B. I mean, to me, when you talk about what Evan Phillips has been able to do, you dubbed him Dr. Phil. They're Yancy Almonte. I dubbed him Yancy Almoney. These are guys that they're like the new kids at school. If we're talking about grades, lots of substitute teachers going in there, but they're pitching well when you consider the fact you lose Blake Trinan, you lose Tommy Kahnle, and you replace Kenley Jansen. I think when you consider the results at the end of the day, a 3.34 ERA, they have gotten the job done. So it's a B for me when it comes to the bullpen.
How about the offense?
The offense is interesting. I still give them a B+. You look at the top of the order. Like I said, it's like a muffin top. And the bottom of the order is like the bottom of a drumstick. You eat all the way down to get to that drumstick. But the middle part, they haven't performed well. The worst in all of Major League Baseball when it comes to batting average. They're almost like those guys that they didn't pull their weight on the group project, but they're still going to get a high grade because the top and the bottom of the order. So really, when you consider the fact that they haven't performed well, they still have room to grow. I'm going to go with the grade I originally said a few seconds ago, but I forgot now.
What's the fan grade on that?
The fan grade, I would say the fans are interesting because they always harp on hitting with runners in scoring position, and we know that
more bunts. Give us more bunts.
They like their bunts. They like their situational hitting, and yeah, if you look at the Dodgers, slugging is down there. I think like 10th or 12th in hitting with runners in scoring positions. So some of their clutch stats haven't been great this season. I think the fans would probably give them a solid B, though, because they're still hyped on Freddie Freeman, still hyped on Trey Turner, and then Mookie Betts, of course, having the season that he's having.
All right, so B+ from you, B from the fans. More importantly, better drumstick, caramel or fudge?
I'm going with the fudge.
Nice take.
I'm not going to say I'm a fudge packer, but like...
How would you grade the defense?
The defense, I think, across the board, you mentioned Trey Turner. One theory I have is he needs to change his old glove. He's got that T-web. Sometimes you see on the exchanges, he struggles with it because he's getting to balls. Sometimes it just doesn't come out of the glove clean. But, yeah, the defense, for the most part, Cody Bellinger, I think, has had a resurgent year. I always say he covers more ground than a Roomba in a mansion out there in the outfield. But Chris Taylor, his offense has been down this season. If you look at his DRS, his defensive WAR, Mookie Betts, he's played well. But I think all in all, I'll give the defense. I mean, Gavin Lux has had those errors. Max Muncy booted one that cost them a game. So I'm going to give the defense a C.
How about the fan grade?
The fan grade, I would say, would probably be a D- for defense.
75% of the world is covered in water. The rest covered by Cody Bellinger.
There it is.
Nice. All right. And Dave Roberts, fan grade and your grade.
I think Dave Roberts, first I'll start with mine, because, I've been known to be a Doc defender, but I also keep it real with Doc. I criticize him when I think he deserves it. I always say he has to win 2 rings to win his first ring, to win over this fan base. But I think he's pushed a lot of the right buttons lately, especially when it comes to bullpen management, like what I've seen with Doc. And we consider that the Dodgers have been decimated by injuries once again. They lose Mookie Betts, their MVP candidate, for a pretty significant amount of time. You saw they lose their best pitcher, their ace, their opening day starter, Walker Buehler, lost his best pitch. And yet he still keeps the morale up in that clubhouse. He keeps things fun. You saw him talking to Gavin Lux in that interesting way. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, his players
said,
like to play
for
him. Yeah, his players do play for him. So I think I'm going to give Dave Roberts best record in the National League. I'm going to give him an A.
All right. How'd you guys grade my hosting skills?
E for Eric.
Nice.
A++++.
That's between a D and a... Yeah, you're my guy.
Yeah.
I knew you'd come through for me. All right, folks, we'll wrap it up here. Your one big concern, stealing it from Scott Van Pelt, instead of one big thing, it's one bad thing. Need one thing from each of you guys. If someone steals yours, you got to pick something else. Doug, I'm going to start with you.
Oh, thank God. Wasn't ready.
It's without question the health of the starting pitching. We talked about Gonsolin's innings count. You talk about will Walker Buehler come back and pitch anywhere close to where he was last season? Will Clayton Kershaw hold up? Will Dustin May come back, coming off of Tommy John surgery, and find a way to pitch well? Danny Duffy. It's a lot of question marks with this starting rotation. So to me, there's no question. We're talking about grades. After the August 2nd deadline, you got to drop your pens, right? You can't change your answers, right? So to me, that's the big concern about, do you get pitching now? Because there could be some health concerns, but no question, it's the health of the starting rotation.
Did he say drop your pants? Because he's not wearing underwear.
He's not wearing underwear today, no.
You gave me a huge SAT
Can you guys see that?
flashback with that, by the way. They can't. Don't worry about it. It's the table's just high enough.
You can't see it, guys. That's cool.
I'm going to pull a pinch hit. It was supposed to be Clint, but I want to hear from Danny Duffy's biggest fan and biggest believer, Brooke, with his one bad thing.
My one bad thing, you think it's about Danny Duffy?
No, I was using that as a segue.
Oh, yeah,
That's
it's
now
a good
ruined.
one. Yeah, the problem is, so I'm similar to
That's the
Doug.
joke.
It's not going to be the same thing. I'm similar to Doug. My one big concern is roster. And because of the way this roster is built right now, because of the number of the guys who are on the 60-day IL, and because of the number of guys who are coming back, you're now in a position where the Dodgers might be thinking, like, we can't make a move. There isn't anything we can do. We don't have space to make this happen. And if we do, we're going to lose out on prospects. We're going to lose out on potential. We're going to lose out on guys like Trace Thompson, Jake Lamb, things like that. They might be in a position, we might be in a position now where they're like, we just can't make moves. We're just not going to. We're going to stick with what we have and hope for the best and hope that all those guys come back healthy and hope that we have those guys for the end of the year. Because if they don't, like Doug said, pencils down. It's too late.
Yeah.
One bad thing.
One bad thing. I mean, you guys nailed both of them, so I'll look at the bullpen. You got to worry about that closer's role. You lost Dan Hudson for the season. That's a big blow because he was really your secondary guy. Craig Kimbrell, the crumble master, has not looked great, even if some numbers, as we talked about on the last Blue Heaven, some numbers paint a different picture of he should be a lot better. But how long until the clock strikes midnight on the burrito, which it already kind of did, on Phil Bickford, on Vesia, on a lot of these Jags before Dustin May comes back, before whatever the hell you get out of Danny Duffy? There's a lot of little concerns all around this team. Still, best record in the NL.
Well, that'll do it, folks. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Make sure to subscribe, rate, review to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Turn that notification bell. Really helps out the channel. Also, we have a Dodgers Nation TikTok. It's brand new. Make sure to head over there. Check it out. Doug and Cody put a ton of great stuff up there. Thank you to Cody Liu, our producer over there, the man behind the curtain. But thank you, gentlemen. We'll see you next week on another edition of the Dodgers Nation Roundtable.